Commander Sarah Chun knew she was going to die. Her mining ship floated dead in space, far from any human colony or patrol route. The main engine had blown up 3 hours ago, taking half the ship's power with it. Now she sat in the dark, watching. Her oxygen meter ticked down to 0. The accident happened so fast. One moment she was using the mining laser to cut chunks of valuable metal from the asteroid. The next moment, sparks flew everywhere and alarms screamed through the ship. A power surge had fried the engine core. The explosion threw her against the wall so hard that her left arm was broken and blood ran down her face. Sarah tried the radio again. "This is Commander Chun of the mining vessel Prospector. I need help. My engine is dead and I'm losing air. Please respond." She had been sending the same message for hours. No one answered. The nearest human ship was probably weeks away. She looked at the oxygen meter again. 2 hours left, maybe less. Sarah closed her eyes and thought about her family back on Earth. Her sister would cry when they told her what happened. Her parents would be proud that she died doing her job, exploring space for humanity. But Sarah was only 28 years old. She wanted to see Earth again. She wanted to have children someday. A soft beep came from the scanner. Sarah opened her eyes and looked at the screen. A ship was coming toward her. It was small, maybe, the size of her mining vessel, but the shape was all wrong. It looked like nothing she had ever seen before. The hull was smooth and curved, almost like a living thing. Strange lights pulsed along its sides. Sarah's heart beat faster. This was not a human ship. This was something else. Something alien. The ship moved closer. Sarah could see it clearly, now through her small window. It was beautiful in a way that made her think of deep ocean creatures. The hull seemed to change color as it moved, shifting from blue to green to silver. She had never seen metal that could do that. Her radio crackled. To life, a voice spoke, but not in any human language. The sounds were soft and musical, like someone singing underwater. Sarah grabbed the radio and spoke quickly. "Hello, I am human. My name is Sarah Chun. I need help. My ship is broken." Silence for a moment. Then the voice came back, speaking careful English with a strange accent. "Human? You are a human being from planet Earth?" Sarah almost cried with relief. Yes, I'm human. "From Earth. My ship is damaged and I'm running out of air. Can you help me?" "I help," the voice said. "I am Zektar. I come to your ship now." The alien vessel moved alongside Sarah's ship. She heard metal touching metal as it connected to her airlock. Her heart pounded. No human had ever met an alien before. She was about to be the first. The airlock hissed open. Sarah floated there, holding her broken arm, not knowing what to expect. The creature that came through the door was not what she imagined. Zektar was tall and thin, maybe 7 feet high. His skin was pale blue and seemed to glow softly in the dim light. He had 4 arms instead of 2, and his hands had long, delicate fingers. His head was larger than a human head, with big dark eyes that looked kind and intelligent. He wore a simple gray suit that seemed to be made from the same color-changing material as his ship. "You are hurt," Zektar said, looking at her broken arm and bloody face. His voice was gentle and worried. "I must help you heal." Sarah tried to speak, but found she was shaking. The stress and fear of the last few hours hit her all at once. Zektar moved closer, his 4 arms moving in graceful patterns. One hand held a small device that hummed softly. Another hand touched her forehead. Very gently. "Do not fear," he said. "I am doctor for my people. I fix your hurt." The device in his hand glowed with warm light. Sarah felt the pain in her arm fade away. The bleeding on her face stopped. Whatever Zektar was doing, it was working. The broken bone in her arm felt strong again. "Why are you helping me?" Sarah asked. "You don't even know me." Zektar's large eyes looked puzzled by the question. You need help. That is enough reason. My people believe all life is precious. We help when we can help. Sarah stared at him. Here was this alien creature, completely unknown to her, risking his own safety to save her life. He asked for nothing in return. He just helped because she needed help. Your ship cannot fly, Zektar said, looking around at the damaged systems. But I can take you to safe place. My homeworld is not far. You can fix your ship there. I don't want to cause you trouble, Sarah said. No trouble, Zektar replied. Is honor to help. Come, we go now before more systems fail. Sarah looked around her broken ship one last time. Then she followed Zektar through the airlock into his vessel. The inside was as beautiful as the outside, with curved walls that glowed with soft light. Everything felt alive and organic, like being inside a giant shell. Zektar helped her into a chair that adjusted itself to fit her human body. Sleep now, he said. Journey will take 2 days. You are safe. As the alien ship pulled away from her damaged vessel, Sarah felt tears on her cheeks. She was alive because a stranger had chosen to help her. An alien stranger who owed her nothing, who risked his own life to save hers. She would never forget this kindness. Someday, she promised herself, she would find a way to repay it. Admiral Sarah Chun stood in the command center of Earth's military headquarters, looking at star maps that covered the wall from floor to ceiling. 5 years had passed since Zektar saved her life. 5 years since she learned that kindness could cross the empty space between worlds. Now she wore the uniform of the Terran Defense Force, with gold stars on her shoulders that showed her high rank. The years after her rescue had changed everything for Sarah. She came back to human space with stories of the gentle Vellani people. She told everyone about Zektar, about how he healed her broken arm with alien medicine, about how he asked for nothing in return. The government made her an expert on alien contact. They promoted her quickly because she understood that not all aliens were enemies. Sarah created new rules for meeting alien species. The old rules said to shoot first and ask questions later. Her new rules said to try talking first. Many military officers did not like these rules, but Sarah had seen proof that some aliens could be friends. She kept a small device on her desk that Zektar had given her before she left his world. It was made of the same color-changing metal as his ship, and it glowed softly when she touched it. Zektar said it would let her call for help if she ever needed it. Sarah never used it, but she kept it close. It reminded her that somewhere among the stars, she had a friend. On this morning, Lieutenant Jackson ran into the command center with a worried look on his face. He carried a data pad with information from the deep space listening posts. Admiral Chun, he said, breathing hard. We picked up something from the Kepler 442 system. Strange signals. They look like distress calls. Sarah took the data pad and studied the information. Her heart began to beat faster. She knew these energy patterns. She had seen them before, 5 years ago, when Zektar's ship rescued her. These are Vellani signals, she said quietly. Something is wrong on Zektar's world. Lieutenant Jackson looked confused. Ma'am? The Vellani are those peaceful aliens you met, right? Who would attack them? Sarah called up more information on her computer. Reports came in from scout ships on the edge of human space. Ships with unknown designs had been seen moving toward the Vellani system. Big ships built for war. The Vellani had no military. They believed fighting was wrong. If someone attacked them, they would have no way to defend themselves. Get me everything we know about hostile alien species in that area, Sarah ordered. Answer came back quickly. The Kefir Dominion was expanding in that direction. The Kefir were everything the Vellani were not. They were cruel and violent. They conquered other worlds and made slaves of the people they found. If they thought a species was too weak to be useful slaves, they killed everyone. Sarah felt cold fear in her stomach. The Kethver would see the peaceful Villani as weak. They would destroy Zektar's people without a second thought. She picked up the communication device Zektar had given her. Her fingers traced the smooth metal surface. For 5 years, she had wondered if she would ever have a chance to repay his kindness. Now that chance was here, but she might be too late. "Lieutenant," Sarah said, "get me a direct line to Fleet Command. I need to speak with Admiral Torres immediately." "Yes, ma'am." "What should I tell him it's about?" "Tell him I need every available ship in human space. All of them, right now." Lieutenant Jackson stared at her. "Ma'am, that's more than 300 ships. That's our entire fleet. What threat could require that many vessels?" Sarah stood up and walked to the star map on the wall. She found the Kepler 442 system and placed her finger on it. Such a small dot of light, but it held billions of lives. One of those lives belonged to the alien who had saved her when no human would. 5 years ago, an alien risked his life to save mine, she said. He asked for nothing. He helped because I needed help. Now his people are about to be destroyed by enemies they cannot fight. But Admiral, we have no treaty with the Villani. Earth Command will never approve using our entire fleet to save aliens. Sarah turned around and looked at Lieutenant Jackson. Her eyes were hard as steel. "Then I won't ask for approval. Get me that communication line. Send messages to every ship captain in human space. Tell them what happened to me 5 years ago. Tell them about Zektar. Tell them that the species who saved a human life is about to die. Ma'am, if you do this, without approval, they'll court-martial you. They might put you in prison." Sarah picked up the glowing device from her desk. She thought about Zektar's gentle hands healing her broken arm. She thought about his words. "All life is precious. We help when we can help. Lieutenant, send one more message with the others. Tell every ship captain this. No friend of humanity stands alone. If they believe that, if they understand what it means to pay back a debt of honor, they'll come. And if they don't come?" Sarah looked back at the star map. "Then I'll take my ship alone. I won't let Zektar die wondering why the human he saved abandoned him." Lieutenant Jackson saluted. "I'll send the messages, Admiral, all of them." As he left the room, Sarah held the alien device and felt it grow warm in her hands. Soon, Zektar would know that humans remembered kindness. Soon, he would learn that saving one human life had consequences that reached across the galaxy. Captain Marcus Rodriguez read the message on his ship's communication screen for the 3rd time. His heavy cruiser Thunderbolt was stationed at Proxima Centauri, protecting the mining colonies there. The message came from Admiral Chun herself. "Sent to every ship captain in human space. An alien named Zektar saved my life 5 years ago," the message said. "He asked for nothing in return. Now his people face destruction from the Kethver Dominion. I am calling every available ship to help defend them. This is not an official order from Earth Command. This is a request from one human to another. No friend of humanity stands alone." Rodriguez looked out at the stars through his bridge window. He had heard the story of Admiral Chun's rescue before. Everyone in the fleet knew about it. But asking every human ship to fight for aliens? That was crazy. That could start a war Earth was not ready for. His communication officer turned around. In her chair. "Captain, we're getting responses from other ships. Lots of them." "What kind of responses?" "Ships saying they're coming, sir. The destroyer Falcon from the Mars Patrol just changed course toward the rally point. 3 frigates from the Outer Rim fleet are already moving. Even some civilian ships with weapons are joining up." Rodriguez rubbed his chin. This was not how military operations were supposed to work. But something about Admiral Chun's message felt right to him. If aliens had saved human lives, then humans should protect those aliens. "Set course for the rally point," he ordered. 2 hours later, Captain Elena Okafor was making the same decision on her patrol ship at the edge of human space. She commanded a small squadron of 4 ships that watched for threats from unknown alien races. When Admiral Chun's message arrived, Okafor called her other captains to a meeting over the communication link. "You all read the message," she said to the faces on her screen. "What do you think?" Captain Singh spoke first. "My grandmother always said that good deeds should be repaid. If these Villani aliens helped Admiral Chun, we should help them." "Captain." Williams shook his head. "This could get us all in trouble with Earth Command. We're supposed to protect human colonies, not go fight alien wars." Captain Park was quiet for a moment, then said, "I've met Admiral Chun. She's not the kind of person who asks for help unless it's really needed. If she says these aliens deserve our protection, I believe her." Okafor made up her mind. "We go, all 4 ships. If humanity is going to help these aliens, we'll be part of it." Across human space, the same conversations were happening on dozens of ships. Some captains said no. They followed their orders and stayed at their posts. But many others felt the same pull that Rodriguez and Okafor felt. They had all heard stories of Admiral Chun's rescue. They understood what it meant to owe someone your life. The civilian freighter captain Marcus Webb was loading cargo at a space station near Earth when the message reached him. His ship Blue Runner was old and slow, built for carrying supplies, not fighting wars. But Webb had been a military pilot before he became a trader. His ship still had some weapons from the old days. Webb's crew gathered in the ship's small meeting room to talk about Admiral Chun's request. "Boss," said his engineer Jenny, "our ship isn't built for fighting. We could get killed out there." "Maybe," Webb said. "But my father always told me that when good people need help, you help them. These Villani sound like good people." His pilot, Tom, laughed. "A cargo hauler going to fight in a space battle? The military ships will probably tell us to go home." "Then we'll go home," Webb said. "But at least we'll know we tried to do the right thing." Within 24 hours, ships began arriving at the rally point Admiral Chun had chosen. It was an empty area of space between human territory and the Villani system. The first to arrive were the fast military ships from nearby patrol routes. Then came the larger cruisers and destroyers from the main fleet bases. Finally, the civilian ships arrived, old freighters and mining vessels with whatever weapons their crews could find. Admiral Chun watched from her flagship as more and more ships appeared on the sensors. Each time a new vessel dropped out of faster-than-light travel, her heart beat a little faster. These captains were risking their careers to answer her call. Some were risking their lives in ships not meant for war. "Admiral," said her communications officer, "we now have 250 ships at the rally point. More are still arriving." Chun stared at the display screen that showed all the ships gathered around her flagship. Big military cruisers floated next to small civilian vessels. Ships from the Earth fleet mixed with ships from the outer colonies. All of them had come because one alien had once helped a human in need. "Any word from Earth Command?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am. Admiral Torres sent a message. He says you're to return to Earth immediately for court-martial proceedings." Chun almost smiled. "What else did he say?" "That's all, ma'am. He didn't order the other ships to go home." "No, ma'am. I think he's letting them make their own choice." A new signal appeared on the sensors. Another ship dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Then another. And another. "Final count, Admiral," the communications officer said an hour later. 312 ships, every type we have. From heavy battle cruisers to modified cargo haulers. It's the largest human fleet ever assembled. Chun looked around. Her bridge at the officers who had chosen to follow her. Then she looked at the display showing all the ships that had answered her call. 312 captains had decided that repaying kindness was more important than following orders. "Send a message to all ships," she said. "Tell them this. 5 years ago, an alien named Sektar proved that compassion exists throughout the galaxy. Today, we prove that humans understand the meaning of loyalty. We go to show the universe that no one who helps a human will ever stand alone. The fleet began to move toward the Velani system, carrying with it the hopes of one species and the promise that kindness would never be forgotten. The human fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Velani system. What Admiral Chun saw on her screens made her heart sink. Velani Prime was already under attack. Huge HFY battleships hung in orbit around the beautiful blue and green planet. Their weapons fired down at the surface, burning cities that had stood for thousands of years. Smaller HFY ships moved like deadly insects around the planet, shooting at anything that tried to escape. "Sensor report," Chun ordered. 60 HFY ships, Admiral. Most of them bigger than our largest cruisers. They've been bombing the planet for at least 6 hours. I'm reading massive damage to the surface. Chun felt sick. They might be too late. Sektar and his people might already be dead. "Admiral," her communications officer said, "I'm getting a weak signal from the planet. It's on the frequency that your alien friend gave you." Chun's heart jumped. "Put it through." The voice that came through the speakers was old and tired, but she recognized it immediately. Sektar was still alive. "Sarah Chun," he said, using her human name instead of her military title. "You came. I knew you would come." "Sektar, thank the stars you're alive. We're here to help. All of us." "All of you? How many ships did you bring?" Chun looked at her display screen, showing the massive human fleet spread out behind her flagship. 312, my friend. Every ship that could make the journey." There was silence on the communication link for a long moment. When Sektar spoke again, his voice was full of wonder. "You brought 300 ships because I helped one human. We brought 300 ships because kindness should never be forgotten," Chun replied. "Now tell me how we can help you." Sektar's voice became urgent. "The HFY ships are too strong for us. We have no weapons. Our people are hiding in underground shelters, but the bombing will break through soon. They have also landed ground troops in our major cities." Chun studied the battle situation. The HFY had more firepower, but the human fleet had more ships. She could use that advantage. "All ships, this is Admiral Chun," she broadcast to her fleet. "Heavy cruisers and destroyers, attack the HFY fleet directly. Keep their big ships busy. Fast attack ships and fighters. Get down to the planet and stop their ground troops. Civilian ships, stay back and rescue any Velani who need help." The battle began immediately. Captain Rodriguez led his heavy cruiser Thunderbolt straight at the largest HFY battleship. The enemy vessel was twice the size of his ship, but Rodriguez had something the HFY did not expect. He had anger. "Those aliens down there saved one of ours," he told his crew over the ship's communication system. "Today we save all of theirs." The Thunderbolt's weapons blazed as it charged the HFY ship. Other human cruisers followed, spreading out to attack different targets. The HFY had been bombing defenseless cities. Now they faced an enemy that could fight back. Captain Okafor took her 4 patrol ships down toward the planet's surface. Her ships were small and fast, perfect for fighting in the atmosphere. Below them, HFY ground forces were marching through Velani cities, destroying everything they found. "Target the HFY ground vehicles," Okafor ordered. "Don't let them hurt any more civilians." Her ships dove through the clouds like hunting birds. Their weapons lit up the sky as they attacked the enemy troops on the ground. The HFY had not expected air support to arrive. Their forces scattered in confusion in space above the planet. The battle was fierce. HFY battleships fired their massive weapons at the human fleet. Several human ships were destroyed in the first few minutes. But for every human ship that died, The humans destroyed 2 Kethver vessels. Captain Webb's old cargo ship, Blue Runner, was not supposed to be in the main battle. But when he saw a damaged human destroyer floating helpless near a Kethver cruiser, he could not stay back. "Jenny, give me everything the engines have got," he told his engineer. "Boss, this is crazy. We're a cargo hauler, not a warship. Today we're whatever we need to be." The Blue Runner charged the Kethver cruiser, firing its small weapons. The enemy ship turned to face this new threat, taking its attention away from the damaged destroyer. Webb's attack did not hurt the cruiser much, but it gave the destroyer time to repair its engines and escape. The Kethver cruiser fired back at the Blue Runner. The old cargo ship's shields failed and explosions rocked the hull. But Webb had bought enough time. The destroyer was safe. On the planet's surface, Zektar watched human fighters streak across the sky, driving away the Kethver bombers. He had never seen such loyalty in all his long life. These humans barely knew his people, but they fought like they were defending their own families. He used his communication device to contact Admiral Chun again. "Sarah, I can help your ships. I know where the Kethver have weak points. My people have been watching them attack other worlds." "Tell me everything," Chun said. Zektar's information was perfect. He guided human ships to attack the Kethver command vessel, the ship that controlled their entire fleet. When that ship was destroyed, the other Kethver ships lost coordination. They began to retreat, but the human fleet pursued them. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was over, most of the Kethver fleet was destroyed or fleeing, but the victory came at a terrible price. 89 human ships were lost. Thousands of human lives ended in the cold space around Vellani Prime. Admiral Chun's flagship was damaged but still flying. She looked at the casualty reports with tears in her eyes. So many good people had died. But Vellani Prime was safe. The Kethver would not threaten Zektar's people again. "Admiral," her communications officer said, "we're getting signals from the planet. The Vellani are coming out of their shelters. They want to thank us." Chun wiped her eyes and straightened. "Her uniform. Tell them the thanks are not necessary. Tell them this is what friends do for each other." But in her heart, she knew that something much bigger had happened here. Humanity had proven that they would cross the galaxy to repay kindness. The universe would remember this day. 6 months after the battle, Admiral Sarah Chun stood in a beautiful garden on Vellani Prime. The air smelled like flowers she had never seen before, and the sky was a soft purple color that reminded her of Earth sunsets. Around her, Vellani children played games while their parents worked to rebuild their cities. The scars of war were still visible. Some buildings remained broken from the Kethver bombing. Memorial stones marked places where Vellani had died. But life was returning to normal, and the planet felt peaceful again. Zektar walked toward her through the garden. He was older now, moving more slowly than when he had rescued her 7 years ago. But his large dark eyes still held the same kindness that had saved her life. "Sarah Chen," he said, using the formal way of speaking that showed respect among his people. "I have been thinking about what happened here. 89 of your ships were destroyed. Thousands of humans died, all because I helped one person." Sarah shook her head. "No, Zektar. They died because we chose to help. No one forced us to come here. Every captain made their own decision. But why? Your people barely knew us. We had nothing to offer you in return for such a sacrifice." Sarah sat down on a bench made from the same color-changing metal as Zektar's ship. She had asked herself the same question many times. "On Earth, we have an old saying," she said. "It means that when someone helps you, you should help others in return. But here, we learn something new. Sometimes the best way to help others is to protect the people who show kindness." Zektar sat beside her. "Your people changed everything for us. Before the battle, my people believed that violence was always wrong. We thought it was better to die peacefully than to fight. But watching humans risk their lives for us made us understand something important. What was that? Sometimes violence is necessary to protect innocent life. Sometimes fighting is the most peaceful thing you can do. Sarah was surprised. The Villani had been completely peaceful for thousands of years. Are you saying your people want to learn how to fight? Not to attack others, Zektar said quickly, but to defend ourselves and to defend other peaceful species. There are many races in the galaxy like us. Gentle people who just want to live in peace. The Kefir and others like them hunt such people. Sarah understood. You want to be able to protect others the way we protected you. Yes, but we also want to share what we know with humans. Your people saved us. Now we must find ways to help your people in return. Over the following weeks, Sarah learned what the Villani could offer. Their medical knowledge was far beyond anything humans had. They could heal injuries that would kill a human, cure diseases that human doctors could not treat. Their farming techniques could grow food in places where nothing should be able to live, but most importantly, they had knowledge about other alien species. The Villani had been traveling among the stars for much longer than humans. They knew which aliens were friendly and which were dangerous. They knew about ancient technologies and forgotten worlds. We want to make a formal alliance, Zektar told Sarah during one of their talks. Not just between our two species, but between all peaceful races, a group that protects each other, Sarah smiled. Like a family that looks out for each other. Exactly like a family. The alliance treaty was signed in the same garden where Sarah and Zektar had their first conversation after the battle. Representatives from Earth government had come to Villani Prime for the ceremony. Even Admiral Torres was there, the same man who had wanted to court-martial Sarah for taking the fleet without permission. Admiral Chun, Torres said privately before the ceremony began, I owe you an apology. When you took those ships, I thought you were risking everything for nothing. I was wrong. You were doing your job, sir. Protecting Earth comes first. Maybe, but you taught us all something important. Sometimes protecting Earth means protecting others who share our values. The ceremony itself was simple. Sarah and Zektar each signed documents that created the peaceful alliance. Other alien species that the Villani knew would be invited to join. The alliance had two main rules: help each other when in danger, and never attack species that did. Not attack first. After the ceremony, Sarah walked with Zektar to a special memorial they had built together. It honored all the humans who died in the battle and all the Villani who died in the bombing. The memorial was made from both human metal and Villani crystal. Two materials joined together to create something new and beautiful. Sarah, Zektar said, do you ever think about what would have happened if we had never met? Sarah thought about it. If her ship had not broken down in that asteroid field, if Zektar had not been traveling through that area, if he had decided not to help a strange alien creature. So many small chances that led to this moment. I think the universe wanted us to meet, she said. I think it wanted to see what would happen when kindness was repaid with loyalty. And what did happen? Sarah looked around at the garden where Villani and human children now played together. She thought about the new hospitals being built with both human and Villani technology. She thought about the farms that would feed both species and the schools where young people would learn about peace and friendship. What happened is that we proved something important, she said. We proved that good deeds create more good deeds. Your kindness to me created kindness in 312 ship captains. Their sacrifice created gratitude in your people. That gratitude is creating friendship between our species. Zektar nodded slowly, like ripples in water. One small action creates many larger actions, exactly. And now those ripples will spread to other species, other worlds. Who knows how far they will go? As the sun set over Villani Prime, casting the sky in shades of purple and gold. Sarah and Zektar stood together in comfortable silence. They had started as strangers from different worlds. Now they were friends who had changed the galaxy. The old saying was wrong, Sarah realized. You should not just help others when someone helps you. You should help others because that is what creates the kind of universe worth living in. A universe where no act of kindness is ever forgotten, and no friend ever stands alone.